Hello everyone and welcome in this YouTube channel. My name is Shekina Chukufila and I'm delighted again to have you on this YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how to integrate Firebase into your Turborepo project. In the previous video, I showed you how to create a minimalist Turborepo project and how to deploy it on Google Cloud Run. We covered some concepts about Turborepo and its way of working. But in this video, I'm going to give you more information about how you can integrate Firebase into your Turborepo project. So let's see that. The first question can be, what is Firebase? Well, Firebase is considered as a backend as a service. So in the simple way to say that is a platform that helps you build and grow apps that users love. Firebase is now backed by Google, but it started as a small startup. So Firebase has a lot of service that helps you to build and to grow your application, such as authentication, databases. They have two databases. They have Firestore and they have real-time database. And they have a lot of functionality that you can use inside of your project. As you can see in this page here, we have some beautiful things that Firebase gives us, such as authentication. As I said previously, we have our Cloud Firestore, that is one of the database Firebase is providing. And you have also a lot of extension that you can use in your project just to go more faster. For those who are doing mobile development, they have Crashlytics that help them to see how the application is running in the phone of their user, and they can collect some crash and things like that. And they have also a performance monitoring, and you have Google Analytics and a lot of stuff. And in this video, we are going to see how we can just take benefits of this thing inside of your Turborepo project. So let's start it. In the previous video in this channel, I created a minimalist Turborepo project, and we are going to continue with that project. To do that, we have to open our editor. In my case is VS Code, and I'm going to do that right away. So here we are inside of my editor, and we have our minimalist project we created in the previous video. We have two apps, we have docs and web, as in the previous video, and we can see inside I didn't change anything here inside this app, and we have just this simple app docs cloud run with its button, and we have the same thing also into the web, but just the description that changed. Here we have web cloud run and its button, but I made a little bit a change because we requested me in the comment section how I can provide you a code that can help you to build your application on Google Cloud Run. So I added that on the README of this project, and you can find it on this project into GitHub, and I will provide again the link to the GitHub in the description of this video. So as I said, here we are going to be more focused on how we can add Firebase into our project. To achieve that goal, we have to create first an internal package. So to do that, we have to go to the package here, and we are going to create a new folder. And that folder, we are going to call it Firebase Client. It's important to say that in this project, we are going to use Firebase JS SDK on the client. And we are going just to show how we can do an authentication on this video. I'm just going first to show you how you can integrate Firebase and to enable authentication inside this YouTube video. So here inside this folder, I'm going to create first my package.json, package.json here. And inside package.json, I'm going to provide some information here. Provide the name. Let me write that correctly. The name will be Firebase Client here. I'm going to give a version. Okay, and this version I'm going just to call to say it will be 00 here, and we are going to provide main. Main will be the entry point of our project. So in our case, we are going to say that it will be index.ts. As our project is running on TypeScript, we are going to also describe types here, and we are going to say that we are going to use our index as also the source of our types. And as we did that, we have now to create some dependencies. So here we are going to use some dev dependencies here. Some dev dependencies. The first dev dependencies we're going to use is a test config. We have some configuration of test config here, and we are going to reuse that test config. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going just to call test config that package, and we are going to reuse that package. And we are going also to create it to integrate our TypeScript into this project. So to do that, here I'm going to create a new terminal, and here, as you can see, we have our app is running currently. So but I'm going to create a new terminal here, and I'm going to add, as I'm using yarn, I'm going to call this workspace. The workspace is Firebase client, and I'm going to add what? I'm going to add Firebase as a dependency. You have to keep that in mind, that Firebase will be a dependency for this internal package. We have just to wait a little bit. It will depend on your internet connection, but it will not take a lot of time. Just wait a little bit. Let me just zoom a little bit my project here. All right. Okay, we just added Firebase 9.23. So we are going also to add. We are going to just to change a little bit this, and it's going to be dev, and we are going to add also TypeScript to the same workspace. We are going to wait, and TypeScript will be added as a dev dependencies of this project. As you can see now, we have TypeScript 5 that is created as a dev dependency for this project. We have now Firebase here inside of our package JSON, and we can use that to create a minimal project of Firebase. Here we are going to initialize this Firebase. So to do that, here inside we are going to create a new file. We are going to call it init file, my TypeScript, and inside this file I'm going to initialize my Firebase project inside of this file. To achieve that goal, what I have to do here, I have to initialize my Firebase project. So here I'm going to use, I'm going to import first here inside initialize, and I have first to say from Firebase app. I'm going to use initialize app. So I have to call it here, and what I'm going to do is to take Firebase config. What I have to take this config, I have to take that from my project. So it's depend on your project, but here I'm going to reuse a previous project I've already built in one of the video present in this YouTube channel, and I'm going also to link this video in this video. So we have to get back here, and I'm going to go to the project settings, and I'll have to scroll down here, and I can see my Firebase config. I'm just going to copy and paste this. And I have to copy and paste. I have just to copy that and to get back into my project here and to paste what I've copied here. Okay, and I have to I'm going to export my Firebase initialization. I'm going to use that here and Firebase config. All right, now I have Firebase initialized here and it's exposed here. As I say when the video started, I'm going just to create a simple authentication. So I'm going to create a new file here. I'm going to call it authentication. And inside authentication, I'm going to implement three functions. One to help me to sign in with Google. The second thing is to sign out. And the third thing to verify if the user is connected or not. It will help us to develop just a system that allows user to connect to his account and to disconnect from his account. So let's start it. Okay. What we are going now to do is to take first authentication. Okay, we are going to get off. Okay, and Firebase from init. Don't forget that this get off should come from Firebase. You have to integrate that here. So let me import that. It seems like my VS Code have a problem to import that here. I'm going to use get off from Firebase off. All right, so I have this authentication. All right, so the second thing I have to do is to create login with Google. Okay, what I have to do, I'm going just to create a function. Okay, and inside that function, I'm going to return sign in with pop-up. And here I'm going to pass first the off, and then I'm going to provide the Google provider. All right, this is done, and I have now next to create logouts. And inside logout, I have also to implement a function that is returning what? It's returning sign out. That is coming from Firebase. And inside sign out, I have to pass the authentication, and sign out also coming from Firebase. And third, I have to create a function that I'm going to call current user connected, just to verify if the user is connected. And inside, I have also to return a function. Okay, and in that function, I'm going to return a new promise. Okay, a new promise that can take user, or it can be a null. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use resolve here. Okay, and on off state changes, I have to pass the off, and it's going to get the user if he's connected or not. and I'm going to resolve the user here. Let me just check. Okay, I have just to import that here, Firebase, the user from Firebase. Don't forget to import that also here. We have Google Auth provider, user, get off, on off state change, sign up with pop-up, and sign out. Everything is okay. Now we have to export all the stuff, but because we have to expose that to be used inside of our different applications such as web and docs. So here we are going to export that into export this function, and I'm going to export also this, and I'm going to export this function, and I'm going also here to create now the entry point, that is index.typescript. Here I'm going just to export everything from off, and I'm going to use authentication here, and I'm going to use function current use connected, and I have login with Google, and I have logout. Now I have my free function that is exposed. I can now call that function inside of my web application. In our case, we are going to implement that inside web application. So let's do that here. We are going to move into the app. We are going into the app, and we are going into the web. The first thing for to use internal package, we have first to declare that package inside of our package.json here. In my case, I'm going to put that inside of our dependencies package here. Okay. So I'm going here to move into the dev dependencies, and I'm going to call Firebase client, and I'm going to use a star, and this star just means that we are going to use this package that is internally declared. So here we are not going to mention any version like this one. We are going just to say that I'm going to use this Firebase client, and this Firebase client is also initialized inside of this project. And another things we have to keep in mind is the fact that we are going to put this we have to transpile this package. For Nest.js started from 13 and up, you have now to go to the next config here, and in the transpile package we have now to specify here. We have to specify what? We have to specify this Firebase client. That will just tell Nest.js that we are going to transpile this package, or we are going to bundle this package internally that is used here. And I will provide also in the description section the link to the documentation that provides more information about that, and you can find that here, and I can show you that here we have this page. I'm going also to give you into the description this link to just give you more information about this way of transpiling package, and you can find that into this section. Let me just hold down here. Yeah, try running the app here, and they show you why you should use this transpile package. All right. Okay, we are going now to get back into our code just to continue our implementation. So inside here we have put Firebase client inside, and we have our Firebase client. We are going to try to stop our project, and we are going to run it again. Okay. Everything is okay now, and I'm just going to say yarn install to make an installation of everything, just to make sure that everything is okay. Okay, everything is okay. Now we are going to implement a simple system that helps us to to manage a connection and disconnection from our system. So we are going to do that inside of our web project, not inside of the docs. We are going to do that inside of the web. Here we are going to open here. Okay, and I'm going just to create a local button here. All right, okay, I'm going just to create a local button here, and we are going first to verify if the user is connected. So we are going to create a simple state here, and we have to make sure again of one thing very important, that Node.js 13 is using a server React component, but here inside we have a React server component, and we are not going to implement a Firebase client into the server, but we have to create a component that will be running on the clients. Okay, and inside that component we are going to reuse those functions we have declared inside of our Firebase clients. So we are not going to do that here. We are going to just create a component, and let me just create a component here, and what I'm going to call it, say that connection. I'm going just to call it connection here, and it will be okay. And to tell Node.js that this component is going to run into our client side, we have just to specify use client, and I'm going to export this function, and I'm going to call it connection. Okay, and inside this function, what we are going to do, we are going to use a state that's to check if it's connected, set connected. And by default, we are going to specify that user is not connected. We are just going to use a boolean, and it's false. And we can specify here that it's a boolean. Okay, and we are going to return a function, a div, and inside that div we are going to say, okay, if a user is connected, we are going to verify if it's connected. We are going to implement button sign out, and here we are going to implement on click sign out, and this sign out should come from this package. Just let me just verify. I call it logout. So let's call it logout, and we are going to import that logout here. Logout, we are going to say from Firebase client, I need logout, and we can all login with Firebase and current user connected, because we are going to re-implement this function inside here. What I have to do now is just to call logout. So logout, I didn't write that correctly, so it's logout here. And if the user is not connected, we are going to implement we are going to say sign in with Google. Okay, and I'm going to say on click. All right, we are going to say on click sign in login with Google here. Yeah, that is it. Okay, and we are going now to verify something, that if the current user is connected, and we use the promise to verify if the user is connected. We have just to double check that. Yeah, and we are going to check if the user is connected. What you have to implement here inside this pages, this connection components, we are going to create a use effect, an effects here, just to synchronize with Firebase to make sure that to check if the user is connected or not. Okay, we are going just to check when the page is painted, that if the user is connected, now we can say that is connected, and we can show this pattern that it can sign out, and when it's not connected, it's going to connect to his account. So here what we are going to do here, we are going to call current user connected, then so yeah, it's promise, so we are going to use it, then user, what am I doing wrong here? Okay, set connected user. Okay, what I have to do just it was to execute that function current user here, and when we executed this function, it's returning a promises, and we have just to wait that promises and to get the user. User can be user or null. So if user is null, here what we say that if the user is not here, it's going to be false, and when the user is have a value and is not null, we are going to have true. So if the user is connected, we are going to get some values, and here it will be true, and if we don't have any information and it's not, we are going to have a false here. So now let's check that. So we are going now to verify in which port our web is running. It's running on this port. We are going to open this. Let's open our project. Oh, we didn't call that inside this page, and we are going to call this into page, and we don't need this button anymore, and we can call connection directly here. Yeah, and we can call our client function inside of our package. Okay, all right, so everything is okay, and we are going to try to click on sign in with Google, and we are going to use okay. But everything is working, and we have this open, and we can click in a particular name here. I have an error here. What is the error? Oh, okay, because I used this previously just to create a multi-factor authentication in my previous project. Reason why I have this error, and you can find this video on this YouTube channel. I'm going again to link that here just to give you more information. This error is normal because I have also registered this email account into a second factor authentication, but I'm going to disable that to show you how to connect here from this account. So I'm going to get back to the authentication here, and I'm going to delete this email, so I will be again able to make another connection. We can get back here and reload our page. We can refresh that and open again, sign in with Google, and we're going to repeat the same thing here, and we should be connected now. I didn't verify if I'm really connected. I'm really connected. If you pay attention, when we created our component, we didn't do anything when the user is connected. Reason why we still see signing with Google. We are just verifying if the user is connected when we are mounting our our components, but we are not doing the same thing when the component is changing. So here, if I reload, I can see that I can sign out because I'm already connected, and I can sign out, and as I'm not doing anything, I can't see anything being happened here. So I'm going just to change it quickly just to avoid this kind of mistakes. And let me just get back again into the codes here, just to give you more information here inside of our connection. What I'm going to do is to refresh. If everything is correct, I'm going just to refresh this. So let me create a function here. I'm going to call it login. And inside this function, we are going to first to log in with Google. Okay, we're going to call it, and we are going here to call our router from Next.js navigation. We should take that from Next.js navigation, not Next.js router. We are going to call it from navigation. I'm going also to provide you the link into the description to understand this change. There is a little bit change on the documentation of Next.js 13. So now the router of this, we are going to take that into the navigation. And here we are going to refresh. I'm going just to refresh, and when everything is, when I'm connected here, it's also sending us a promises. I can say, okay, I'm going to await this, and after that I can refresh. And you can do a lot of things also here, but in my case I'm going just to keep it more simple. And logouts, I'm going to do the same thing here, and a sync function that I will call sign out maybe, but should I call it like this? Okay, yeah, I can call it sign out. And here inside I'm going to await my logout. I think it's logout. Okay, and I'm going to refresh the page. And here what I'm going to say, sign out, and here I'm going to put login. All right, everything is okay now, and I can get back here again, refresh, sign in with Google, and you're going to see, okay, I'm going to connect to my account, and it should refresh the pages. I don't know why it's doing that, but I'm connected. Yeah, we can see here I'm connected, and let's try the sign out. Yeah, it's taking a little bit time, but everything is working perfectly. As you can see, I integrated my Firebase project inside of the Turborepo project, and I was able to sign in into my account and to disconnect from my account. And if I reload here, I can see that everything is okay. And more simple way of doing things, it was just to verify if I'm really connected and operation went well. There is a simple way of doing that. Instead of refreshing things, we can just listen to the information that we are getting back and to verify if the user is connected or not. And we can do that on your side. I was just giving you a big picture of how you can integrate Firebase into your Next.js, into your Turborepo project. I hope that this video was very useful for you and you learn a lot, and really impatient to see what you will say in the comments. If you have any question, you can leave any question into the comment section below, and I will be delighted to answer you. And you can also ask me new topic I can share with you into this YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and see you in the next one.